I think I got 2. Got a good double. How am I gonna get these in the boat? Look at this. Stay on, guys. Stay on. I got one came off. One came off. But guys, look at this. Another one. That's a good fish there. There we go. It's a good one. Not a bad fish. I'll hit that wood. Oh, it's kind of hooked weird. Let me get this off real quick off that bottom hook. These fish are fat and they're eating up on these little bitty baits. And guys, as you just saw me there, I mean, I wasn't using the live scope. I'm up here just in this creek ditch, throwing up here on this flat that's probably in 2 foot of water. They're up here in this ditch, chasing up bait in the flat. What a fun way to catch them. Look at that dude, thick. He's just a 2-pound fish, but man, what a blast. I've caught so many fish this morning. I just had a recent fishing trip where I blasted these fish in the back of a creek. But on my way home, I thought of a mistake I made, and I'm gonna share with you guys that. Also in this video, we're gonna talk about finding these little creeks on lakes, small lakes, big lakes, but lakes typically without contour lines, how you can go find these creeks to help you save time on the water and go out and have a great day like I just did this morning. Now let's get into it. Double guys on the old Black's custom lure Widowmaker right there. Ooh, I gotta get back in there. Okay guys, so on this fishing trip, I caught them really well on an Alabama rig. The only bites I could get was an Alabama rig and then the G-Crack Bellows Gill on my Core Tackle hover rig. I know you guys have heard me talk about it, but that was the 2 lures. I threw the bladed jig. I had what else I had on? Lipless crankbait. I flipped Texas rig and a jig and a Cinco at stumps, and then I also threw the glide bait. So my mistake I made, and this is something in the fall, okay, that as I was thinking on my way home, what else could I have done to catch these fish? They were so keyed in on little bait, and they were keyed in, like I said, Alabama rig was just drawing them that day. But I was thinking, let's say I was fishing a tournament and the Alabama rig was not allowed. What would I try to catch these fish with? And so it started bothering me because I wondered if this is my puzzle part. What I love about fishing, guys, is the puzzle, figuring it out. And I was thinking, because I went a long time without throwing the Alabama rig. You guys know that watch the channel. I mean, I went years. I just kind of quit throwing it because the Bassmaster Pros couldn't throw it, MLF couldn't throw it, so Jimmy couldn't throw it. But now the last year, I've picked it back up and it catches fish. So guys, what I would have done, and it goes back to a fall fishing trip when I was 16 years old, okay, and it's in another lowland reservoir. But one thing I didn't throw that day that I have tied on now, and I kind of want to go back and just test it. One of the 2 lures that I should have tried is a spinnerbait. This right here is a spinnerbait, but as you see, it's a single Colorado spinnerbait. This is the Booyah Covert, okay? I think it's a Covert, Jason Christie, and and all those guys. But it's not a giant blade, a smaller Colorado single blade, okay? So I remember a fishing trip when I was 16 years old, and these fish would only that day eat this, and we blasted them on this. Fishing similar, just like I was fishing this day. Back of a creek, cypress trees was the cover. There was hydrilla as well, but our cover for this creek was cypress trees. But the fish that day in that trip wanted a spinnerbait. But how we were fishing it was just how I was just fishing that Alabama rig. We fished this on the bottom though, around the ditch in this creek, and we also fished it suspended. We tried to throw it around wood suspended because some of them fish we thought, this was pre-live scope and pre-everything else, right? I mean, we didn't have a 2D on this boat. Them fish were on them stumps coming up, or they were just suspended chasing bait, and this drew them. Something about the single Colorado blade, though, because we tried the willows and the small willows, because, guys, I love the War Eagle Screaming Eagle this time of year. That War Eagle Screaming Eagle spinnerbait, it's a good one. I've had success with it, and I know other guys probably have as well. But something about that Colorado blade. So looking back on the trip, I wish I would have tried it. The other lure I wish I would have tried is this little square bill. I've talked about it in a video. And then as you guys see, you kind of get out there fishing and you kind of forget stuff that you want to do. And so that was my fault. I tried the small lipless crankbait and a good size lipless crankbait, nothing. But I wish I would have tried this Megabass small square bill that I have. I have other small square bills too, but I know Randy and Johnny put me on this one. And it's pretty small and light. I have a bait caster I think I could have thrown it on, but I probably would have done it on the spinning rod even. But guys, so this little dude, I mean, look, it's called the what is it again? It's the Super Z1, quarter ounce. I mean, this dude's little. I mean, look at this guy, little. I don't have like no giant Shaquille O'Neal hands or anything, but guys, look, it is small. And the bait fish back there was little. And there's stumps, wood, cypress trees. Why not throw square bill? And I'm mad at myself for not thinking about this. I mean, not trying it on, right? So that's a mistake I think I made from that fishing trip, is not trying those out. I love to figure out how to catch fish, right? And for some reason that day, the Alabama rig was getting doubles. It was fun. I didn't tie anything else on, but I should have. Now, guys, let's also talk about creeks in general and fishing creeks and how to find creeks that are productive like this one. Now, this lake I was fishing, if you're familiar with it, it's kind of known that that creek is a poplar creek. I'm going to show you right now something on the Deep Dive app that's a new feature called the Inflow Chart. And when you look at this lake, okay, now this lake has no contour lines, no contour maps, lines, okay? But when you look at the Deep Dive app, and now on the Deep Dive app, guys, a lake like this is not a popular lake, small, but you get these inflow charts, okay? Now I'm going to show you this lake, and then we're going to go find another lake that I'm not familiar with, and how we can use this inflow chart to determine creeks that are productive. Now, looking at this lake, okay, you see that creek I was in, which was in the northeast corner. There are 3 inflow kind of chart readings. Now, when you're looking at that map, the brighter dots, the pinks, kind of the main inflow. Those other purples are kind of smaller, and you can change it there by the slider. But guys, right there in that northeast arm, you see 3 inflow charts, which means 3 running creeks. Now, guys, when you think of lakes, okay, and I'm going to talk about that lake here in a 2. I'm going to take it off the screen. But when you think of lakes and creeks, and definitely lakes without contour lines, and even like, you have some lakes with it, right? I mean, we can show this for other lakes, Hamilton, Greeson as well. But guys, what this does is when these lakes get water coming in them. Now, remember, this lake wasn't built yesterday. I don't know when this lake was built. 1970, 80, I don't know. But whenever it was built, these are the running creeks. These running creeks have more oxygen, more current flow, and guess what? These fish know it. The shad know it, the crawfish know it, brim, crappie, bass, they know it, okay? It's kind of like us as humans, as I like to put it. You have your cities, your interstates, your highways, you know where your food's at, and the more popular ones have more people. So I'm not saying other creeks and other little coves will not have shad move up and bass to follow. But this inflow chart, as you see, there's 3. That means that's 3 times as more, right? So that right there just kind of shows on this lake. Now I'm going to go back on this on White Oak. I'm going to put the map up. There's one little inflow that I didn't know about. There's actually a few, but there's one I didn't. And I want to go check it out now. It's a small little one over here on the east side of the lake over here. I didn't know that was a inflow area, a little creek. Now, guys, these are not going to be just giant ditches either. These can be small ditches. Them small ditches is all the bass need, okay? So this inflow chart can help you. Now, we're going to go to a lake in Arkansas, guys, that I've never been to. I have never been to. It's a small little reservoir. It's called Harris Break. And we're going to show the map right here. Here's Harris Break. Now, looking at it, before I show you the inflow chart, there's a couple coves. There's a couple potential creeks. So let's say me, all right, now this is me. I'm going to fish this lake one day, by the way, guys. Just know I'm about to live an hour and 10 minutes from this lake. Okay, just broke some news. We'll talk more about it later. I'm going to be moving to Hot Springs area in a couple months. So this lake's going to be a new lake to me that I'm going to fish. How I'm going to use the Deep Dive app is by this inflow chart reading, okay? Now, the Deep Dive app, guys, does have the water clarity, which I love. I mean, I love that water clarity. It has the patterns. There's other stuff about it, but we're talking about the inflow and how it can help you on these small lakes without any information. I'm looking at the lake. There's a couple coves. There's a couple potential creeks. But let's say I want to try to find out where the potential best population of fish are, potential areas. Me, a guy that does not know anything about it. Now I'm going to show you the inflow chart, okay? The inflow chart shows one creek that has, like White Oak, 3 running into it. 3 right there. So that right there might away make me think that, hey, I need to go check it out. Now, there's some other coves on the lake, like that east end of the lake, that are just flat, I guess. They don't have a true running creek in. Now, that doesn't mean fish aren't there and can migrate bass there in the fall. They might spawn there for what we know. I don't know. But this right here helps me to decide areas I'm gonna go target, okay? Or areas to go look for structure, cover, okay? Just to help me, which I don't know the lake. I know there's a boat lane there. I know there's a drawdown. So that's one thing about this lake. There is a drawdown there. You see on the map, there's a little river above it. I'm pretty sure, as I got told by one of somebody I talked to, that they draw the lake down in the winter. So there's going to be current. And guess what? Them fish that have lived there through generations and generations know the current. And so there's a good chance where that those little inflows, those little creeks kind of come together in that big creek is going to be a productive area to look for fish and to catch fish. So guys, I just want to share that with you on how to help find areas to fish in the fall, or, you know, we're going to go more onto it or more after this, but in the fall, trying to determine creeks, where to fish. This right here can help you, okay? As it's going to help me, and I use it, okay? And I want to talk about it. If you're still watching those 10 minutes in, I'm actually going to make a video on how to prepare for a fishing day. It could be a fishing tournament, fishing day, and the couple different things I like to do, and how the Deep Dive app is one of them. And it's going to be for lakes, of course, that I fish, but it's going to be for new lakes because I'm about to be living in a not new to the state, right? I mean, I grew up fishing these lakes, but I'm going to, as I move back to the Hot Springs area, I'm going to erase my memory, okay? Now, I'm not going to erase everything from Lake Ouachita. I'm not, okay? But I'm erasing the memory and starting over with what I know now. And I'm going to have to prepare mentally and get prepared with just the whole aspect of how to go out and find fish for you guys to make content and go out there and catch fish, which is fun, right? Gotta go catch fish, okay? Appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of today's video. If you like it, don't like it. I appreciate the comments when I get them, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next one.